Are you ready to level up 3 consecutive characters for a while? Because we got so much XP from that everyone leveled up. Alright. No pressure, Eskier. It's just your final level up ever, I think, unless I'm wrong. So we should probably spend every single point that I get, I think. We hit survival 7, so athletics. 1 point to athletics caps me out. I guess mechanics. Called to his bidding, the ancient instruments of death. The chanter summons a collection of ancient weapons to attack his or her foes. Neat. Requires 7 phrases chanted. Summon animated greatsword, animated pike, animated warbow. 45 seconds of 3 people being summoned to help. Probably more helpful than my other multi-summons. Boil their flesh from skin to bone. This ghastly invocation causes victims' bodies and souls to rapidly dissolve, doing raw damage to enemies caught in its path. 7 phrases chanted. 5 meters-ish. 90-degree cone is a wide one. 35 to 53 raw damage. Destroyed. Huh. So it does about 40 raw damage and about 40 corrode damage, while causing destroyed and sickened from poison. That's a decent chunk of damage. Like, that's a big ol' spike of damage, potentially. Is it 7 chance worth of damage? I don't know. I'm also a little iffy. It says, causes victims' bodies to dissolve, and so on. Raw damage to enemies. And this part does say raw damage to enemies, but then this part says corrode damage. And it doesn't say faux AoE, it says regular AoE. Which, if there's any consistent notation to how stuff's listed in this game, that would mean that does 40 raw damage to enemies, but then it does 40 corrode damage to everyone. Allies and enemies. I'm not sure if that's the case. I would expect this attack to only hurt your enemies, as opposed to having some of it hit your allies, but then most of it hit your enemies, because that's a little weird. But it's not worth noting why you're supposed to kind of have consistent notation about how stuff works in this game, which, you know, from day one has been an issue. Still, summoning an army of weapons sounds like it'd be pretty effective. Huh. I can always respec, but I never have. There's a bunch of damage boosts, but they're all very specific. They only affect a specific enemy. And none of those options are Kith. Which is what you expect the big story fights to usually be. But I could be wrong. Bloody Slaughter's always been kind of tempting. Body control would be nice. There's a lot of these that are helpful. I think I'm gonna go with body control. I got mind control, and let's get body control. Stuff that, everything from the mind controls to the paralysis style debuffs are all just a bummer all around. Yep, we're maxed. It just straight up says max. 120,000 experience, and then you're at your end. So now, from here on out, I'm only doing quests for the sake of it, and not for experience. Which, admittedly, won't really stop me. Athletics, so that means athletics is never getting higher. I could take survival slightly higher, maybe I should, because then I could get the next tier of healing received multiplier. If I feel, yeah. If I ever need to heal him, that'll be useful. Like if I need to specifically go that far in my strategizing because something's that tough, I could like rest and have him set to healing received but plus version 2, and that could potentially be a big help. Alright, so now I can no longer think like, oh, I'll get it later. Anything I get now is my last chance to get it. Hmm. Body control's pretty tempting. I think I already got improved deflection, right? Yeah, I have so many of the defensive talents that this thing doesn't scroll anymore, which is actually worth noting. I've picked up a lot of them now. That may be worth getting. Cautious attack. Just even more deflection. Body control's pretty good. Let's go for body control. Aww. He didn't even get to pick a final warrior skill. That's a bummer. That means that level 15 was the last time I ever got to pick a warrior skill. And I didn't know at the time that it was going to be my last one ever. You have a weird build at this point. Hmm. Just an all-around weird build. Alright. New spells. Only one for tier 8. But, right, we've already learned spells from this, right? So it's just another chance. The Wilting Wind. Raw damage to anyone in the area. Wall of many colors. On enemies passing through it. This one's definitely amusing. I was very tempted by that, because it just seems like a weird, amusing move. I gotta go for that. I want to see the Wall of Many Colors in action. Bonus spell is always an option, just kind of boring. I can go for body control. Or weapon focus for his weapon. Yeah. That's what I should do. I still don't have that. Might as well make him good at his weapon. He's using a wand. I always want to be very careful that I don't mistake a wand for a scepter and so on. Probably noble. Scepter and rod. Adventure. Wand. Gotcha. Now he's finally got his bonus for wands. There we go. Poof.
Sure.
I let y'all have a tough day. Is that his last level? Yeah, it is. Wow. Really? That surprises me. Aloth leveled up before Durkins? Did he start off with higher experience? Or did I send him on enough side quests? I'm actually not clear on whether if you send somebody on a quest via your weird storybook base management thing, does it give that one character specifically bonus experience, or does everyone get experience for doing it? I'm not really clear on that. It hasn't really mattered, to be honest. But, Durkins I've had in my party almost the entire game. Aloth I've had in my party the least out of anyone, potentially, I think. I'm not sure. Maneha... Yeah, all 3 expansion characters might have been in my party less than Aloth. But aside from that, he's been in the party, like, non-stop. I mean, he's been out of the party pretty much most of the playthrough. He was at the beginning when I fought Redcerus, or Roderick. Raedric. But, most of the game since then, he hasn't been, the moment I got too many characters. I specifically started including him a bit lately because of how under-included he was before. Whoa, it's making weird noises at me. Let's take another look at this thing, maybe. Ooh, True Flame Barbarian. Oh, this is a... This here's one of them bounties, ain't it? Yeah, I'm surprised that he has the most experience. that he like, I'm not surprised he beat the expansion characters, but he beat Durkins? It took me a long time to even consider taking Durkins out of my party. You are all going to die. Oh yeah. They seem to be self-managing nicely. Yep. He was a moose for 1 second, and then he was dead. It's always a little awkward though when a fight takes place this close to the edge of the map, because you can't scroll to center your screen on it. Generic weapons. Yep, looks like it's all whatever. So that was Fire Dorn's head.
Yeah.
Got him. I've already been here otherwise.
Sure.
I want to revisit the sword and take another look at it, because it's been a while. What were the stakes? Because it scared me off last time. Behind a frigid curtain of water is an alcove, its walls flecked with ice. In the middle you see a rough stone pedestal, also glazed with ice from the falls. The cruciform hilt and a tapered blade protrude from the pedestal. Judging from the size of the hilt and the apparent length of the blade, you infer that it is an estoc. The alcove and the stone pedestal are little more than dilapidated ruins. Ice pries cracks in the stone and coats the slick floor. The estoc, what little of it you can see, appears to be in better condition. It seems odd that anyone would leave it here. However, as you get close to it, you hear what sounds like screams and shouts of tormented souls. Perception 14. Let's move in. Who will go? I can grab it myself or tell someone else to. I do wonder if the devil is uniquely tuned for this kind of issue. Let's see how it reacts when I try to grab it. You cross under the falls, gasping as the water douses you. Your breaths echo in the small chamber. Do they echo? You think all you'd be able to hear is the falls. As you approach the pedestal, you see the reflection of falling water running along the blade. You grip the hilt. Oh. Yep, I was right to think something bad was going to happen. The hate, fear, and violence of a dozen mad, gibbering voices fills your mind. You shudder through a wave of mental pain, struggling to hold the voices back. Grunts and cries of agony ring through the tiny space, but you keep a hold of the hilt and eventually regain a measure of focus. Yet just as your breathing steadies and the cacophony subsides, something pulls your arms forward. It suddenly feels as if you're holding a heavy and painful burden. You could probably pull the estoc free, but it will be taxing without careful effort. Inspect the blade. The blade is of a fine, sturdy steel. It seems odd that someone would have left it in the stone, but you don't see anything remarkable about it other than its high quality. Brace against the pedestal. You climb on top of the pedestal and adopt a wide stance for better leverage. Draw the estoc from the stone. After working at the estoc, you're able to pull it free without too much difficulty. Might 13. Yet when you try to release the estoc, it remains stuck in your hand. You feel something within the weapon grasping at your soul and binding to it. When you look at the blade, you see new writing glowing from the metal. Oh shit. The Gray Sleeper cannot be unequipped Hello. Oh, this sounds entertaining. 5 DR bypass, chance to paralyze on hit or crit. This S-Duck has a smooth, sturdy blade that tapers to a needle-sharp point. The groans of a dozen tortured souls ring from the metal, binding the weapon to the hand of its wielder for so long as the curse persists. A few verses are etched along the blade. 'Tis a traitor's fate to sleep and never rest, whilst knowledge of his deed stays lodged within his breast. But earnest penance heals the sorrowful man, and worthy actions stay the executioner's hand. A new verse appeared when the blade was drawn from its pedestal. It reads, "Seek the whirling agent made of copper, adra, stone. Awaken first your essence so that you may atone." Seek the whirling agent made of copper, adra, stone. What is whirling? Are there any windmills in this game? I think there's a clue here in the form of awaken your first essence. Copper, adra, stone.
Huh?
Alright. Doing this may have been a mistake due to the threat of curses and all that, but the fact that I have to decipher a bunch of verses to solve the weapon is kind of exciting. So I'm curious. Kind of want to see where this goes. Should I tell you, by the way? Wait, I can't talk to you, right? You're not a sentient creature. I'm thinking of God of War with the ghosts. Yeah. Killing the dragon ended the quest. Yeah, alright. A quest line about removing a curse. So I think I get the first clue, but we'll see. Awaken my first essence. I think, what about the place where I was first awoken? There was a device there. It probably was made of copper, adra, stone. I don't know about whirling. But maybe. The S-Duck seems to hum. Yeah! As it nears the Ingwithan machine. Something arcs between the steel blade and the adra core of the ancient device. The voices in the S-Duck grow quieter, and the weapon feels more powerful. New writing appears along the blade. Hey, slow spirits. Bow AoE, 60% reduced attack speed for a bit. Neat. Find the sun-kissed hillocks where the dead folks sleep. Rest beside their wasting flesh, inspect what dreams you reap. Sun-kissed hillocks. Where the dead folks sleep. Rest be.
Find the sun-kissed hillocks where the dead folks sleep. Rest beside their wasting flesh. Inspect what dreams you reap.
Alright, I don't know what a hillock is. It's probably, I mean, it sounds like the word hill, but I don't know what a hillock is, really. Hireling payday. Yeah, I'm just losing money whenever I take these trips. But I know where dead people are. Because this place turned into a bunch of zombies and became a zombie apocalypse, but somewhat coincidentally was also where the graveyard was, which was amusing. Because it was already full of graves and tombs even before it was any kind of zombie spot. What's this place like? Mausoleum, a manor. Yeah, let's just go to let's go inside one of the mausoleums and sleep there. They said to rest. I think I'm on the right track. Until I very abruptly find out that I'm very wrong. Riddles are fun. But it's a total crapshoot if I'm even vaguely competent at them. All right. We're not off to a great start then, are we? This must be another clue. Yeah, one would think. They're a different place. Either way, I need more camping supplies. Assuming you need to rest by resting the way you normally would. Is there a more applicable location around here? Oh. That could be it. Because that's Radrick's Hold. The path to it was like a spooky graveyard. That might be it. I need to recollect camping supplies though, so we need to find ourselves one of the inns. Brackenbury's a go-to for that. We're going to solve a riddle today. Gotta be very annoying to be my party right now. Because they're just going on weeks of adventures. We were in the middle of shit. All sorts of storylines are going on, and I'm just gonna go on just weeks of wandering until I figure this out. It's very tempting though, because other weapons you have to grind via combat, but this one, if it's a bunch of locations I visit based on a riddle, that means I could finish the entire weapon right now and reach its highest quality in one thing without even doing any fights. And then it's just ready to go. No ramping it up, no prepping it. And then my protagonist finally gets one of these kinds of weapons. Because he's been using a unique, but not this kind of one. Oh, that's the only option I could have clicked on that would have made me not get the right option. There we go. It's about time for me to clean up again, too. Fine weapons? I never touched the stuff. At this point, I'm basically just selling everything that's blue. I'm just keeping mega uniques. Because even if something's superb or whatever, like I'm all about those special characteristics, because I can always enchant one of those to be better. Whereas I'm rather uninterested in anything that's not unique. And frankly, I have so many unique items now that those alone are just a glut of items. Gotta be careful though. In this screen I sell everything that's not blue, because all the blue things are the unique items. Keep getting dupes of the same things though. They love to give me boots of stability, for example. That's 20 grand right there. There we go. That'll keep the hirelings paid for a bit while I figure this out. At this point, you can probably say I'm ready for anything. So I beat the big dragon. I beat Cragholt. 3 of my characters are max level now. So you can probably assume, going forward, that I'm at the appropriate level for stuff. So it's more about just choosing what order to do things in. So finish the expansion, then finish Yenwood. Any other loose ends. And then the main story, I guess. Azuro has arrived offering to sell you Melina's boots. He shows up every now and then. What are these? 1 move speed, 50 defense while stunned, 50 defense while prone. That's an interesting idea. Kind of an acceptance of the idea, like, you're gonna get knocked down regardless, you might as well just get a big bonus whenever it happens. Melina was born to Glenfallen travelers in Deerwood, but returned to her ancestral village in the White That Wends after her parents passed away. When a migratory clan stopped in her village, the elder son tried to defile her, and she blinded him with a torch. Knowing the young man would rally his friends to hunt her down, and that her own village would offer little protection, Melina fled but got hopelessly lost in the midst of a snowstorm. Frightened, hungry, and knowing the hunters were close behind, she came across a pool in the shape of a giant hoof print, filled with a liquid that shimmered like ice. Muttering a prayer to Rimmergund, she dipped her boots into it, and the strange substance infused her boots with a magic that hastened her escape and erased her tracks. Hoping to start a new life, Melina traveled to Iarglanfath 2 months later, only to be killed by an Orlan Bershaugun in the War of the Black Trees. The boots are made of a rough, reddish-brown leather. The left side of the left boot is branded with a stylized image of a walrus. Huh. It's a long list of characteristics. Weird. I guess the idea is that the Rimmergrand enchantment is why she has 1 move speed. The part where she has 50 defense while stunned and prone is more distressing to think about, because it basically seems to be that the attempted rape that she is so good at escaping from carried into the boots itself, and so when you're in a compromised position, you're more likely to be able to defend, which is a slightly distressing context to think about. Jesus. Am I right about this place being a graveyard? Yeah, it was. I knew you were. Yeah. Oh yeah, look at that. There's so many gravestones here. It's so much to, it's so useful. Took you guys a while to get up here. Yes. Sleep amongst the dead we shall. Please work. The loamy soil squishes underfoot, and something invisible seems to rise from it. You detect essence, faint and barely perceptible, drifting up from the graveyard. The gray sleeper seems to feed on it, and the strange voices grow quieter still. Another verse gleams in the steel. It's still only fine. That's worrying me a little bit. That's not getting stronger. Huh. 5% chance to cast Invoke Vessels on hit. Summon 1 to 3 Dargle, Ghoul, Revenant, Human Skeleton, and White. Fuck. I dig that. I'm already kind of a summoner, so summoning passively is crazy. That's a hell of a thing to stack. Fingers of the world. Adra strong and whole. Kneel before the pillars. Bring order to your soul. Huh. That seems pretty easy. Yeah, let's deal with this real quick. Major adventure. Average reputation bonus. Average item. It's just a I guess we must have run out of adventures? I guess. Go on an adventure, Zawa. Yeah. Huh. I think we're out of stories. Like, they keep giving me adventures to go on where you read a little story about what your character's doing. This is just like, it's like placement text. Just major adventure with average reward. Alright, we're all out of lore. Even the game is done with me. So this is pretty easy, I think, unless I'm wrong. I think that the Adra pillars you see everywhere have been called fingers before, but if nothing else, I always associate the pillars of Adra you find throughout the entire game as being the titular pillars of eternity. Maybe the story will contradict me. Maybe I'll find out at the end of the game what the pillars of eternity are or something like that, but so far I figured the Adra pillars I see everywhere are the pillars of eternity. But if you're going to tell me to specifically kneel at the fingers of Adra, I'm going to go to Cadnua at the statue of Odnua, which is literally fingers. A deep and mighty power emanates from the Adra pillars. It resonates in the Grey Sleeper. As you kneel, the voices in the Grey Sleeper reach a low, peaceful harmony. A final surge of energy fills the blade, and the voices fall silent. You feel the curse snap like a rotten cord. Neat. What quality is it? It's superb! It went directly from fine to superb in one go. Holy shit. 5% chance to cast twin stones on a hit or crit. Wow. That's AoE damage to stack with my other AoE damage. I may have finally got my wish with this character. I wanted something that was a bit of an upgrade. This was a really early weapon, this Justice right here. Slow, greatsword, slow, S-stock. Shit, do I have to respec for an S-stock? That is a different category, isn't it, than a two-handed greatsword. But yeah, this thing just had... What was special about this? I think the special thing about Justice was just the crush damage. Because you can enchant bonus damage on your weapons, but it's always like fire or something, not crush. I think that was basically it. So this one is all the way up to being superb. Same interrupt. 5 DR bypass. And then on hits or crits, I have a 5% chance to cast 2 attacks. No, a 5% chance to summon, 5% chance for an AoE attack, and a 10% chance to paralyze my opponent. And those 3 combined just means I'm constantly proccing things on my enemies. And on top of that, I can cast this 3 times per rest, if I remember it's there. I think it's time to move on from Justice. It has a dark blade. Alright, my character definitely has a different look now. Is he wearing 3 of these now? Wearing a few of them. Oops. So here's what I've got. Riona's breastplate, the Grey Sleeper, and Company Captain's cap. So that one's maxed out. This one's maxed out. Did I equip this and then just ignore what its actual quest was? I might have. I think I just saw that it was cool and then equipped it, but didn't exactly focus on what it was giving me. Travel to the wooded plains and defeat the bleak walkers. Whoops. I think I may have got this and then just kind of not tracked it as a quest, essentially. There's a lot happening in this game. It's fine. But isn't the wooded plains, like, local? No. Yes. Just not the direction I thought it was. Where did I get this chess piece? I think I got it in Cragholt. Yeah. Yeah, I think I got it in Cragholt. I probably equipped it and then ended the episode and settled down for the night. and then came back and forgot that I was wearing yet another quest item. There's a lot of them. There's so many of them. There's so many of them that they almost deserve their own category somewhere in here. Like a separate category so you can keep track of them individually. Travel to the wooded plains and defeat the bleak walkers.
Yeah.
Just kind of comes up with that. Are you the bleak walkers? Task failed. Cat and mouse. Whoa, this was a while ago. This was a while ago. The people from Deerford. A familiar elf saunters over, picking his nails with a stiletto. You recognize him from Deerford. You said to go north, and north I went. Straight into a Glenfathan hunting party before I realized you'd given me the runaround. He points the blade at you. And I've been slogging around this middle of nowhere backwater all because of you. I'll find Nefri all right, but first I'm taking care of you. Huh. I've lost reputation with House Dominel. Oh no. I didn't know I could lose more reputation with House Dominel. These guys have to be like level 3, right? This was so long ago. This is adorable. Oh my god, they're useless. Well, I didn't know. I thought that quest was over. You can fail a quest you already completed? I thought I already completed that quest. That's confusing. And how did I fail? I still covered for Nefri. Now I killed all the people that were gonna kill Nefri. Seems like things went pretty alright for me. This looks like it might be the place because it looks really weird and unique. It's got like a weird grave on it. Bleak Sentinel. Those are probably the Bleak Walkers. Durkins, no! They are right on you, aren't they? Hey, can one of you tank? Can you? I just need you to come over here. They're killing Durkins, no! It's bad. Get him off of Durkins. No! Get them off of Durkins. Aw. Well, that's not a great start, admittedly. These guys are a little higher level than expected. Nah, because I probably got this item from. Let's get one more chant and I get some of my weapons. Yes. Now you guys are really in trouble. Smack, smack. That's a fun idea for an attack. Hey, Loth, no. Quick, put your bubble up. There we go. That'll keep him going for a bit. I summon weapons like the person from the other thing. Take 300 damage from enemies to unlock the next level. Alright, well that's just gonna happen on its own. So there we go. Exceptional 15% chance to cast Vigorous Defense when hit or crit. Yeah. I think that was already there. Or was it the intellect? Pretty cool piece of equipment. It is funny that I went on a big trip to level up an item that's on Yaskier only to realize that I had another one that I forgot about. Who had the Cannoneer belt? Strangely, Eder. Oh, no, Eder has the War Club of the Mataru. But only that one. He's surprisingly devoid of those items. I think the Cannoneer's belt that gives you fire spells was on Pallegina, which is kind of fitting. She has a bunch of fire abilities, but also so does Yaskier, so could go either way there. I think the stats were redundant or something, or maybe at the time the items felt more rare, so I wanted to scatter them amongst different party members more. Whereas nowadays, so many people have them, I might be a little more tempted to put them all on my main character until he has an entire inventory of superpower items. A fun idea. Where do I want to go next? I don't need to stop in town. Durkins Battery. The Red Surin Fort. The Iron Flail has erected a fort in the mountain pass to the northwest. Any answers as to the fate of the stalwart delegates will lie there. Darren asked me to deal with the commander, Adric Sendamar. A fort has been built to the east of Stalwart. It may house the army I seek. The fort was built by Red Surins with an interest in capturing Durkin's battery. Stalwart sent a group of delegates there. This is like the same quest, essentially. The east of Stalwart is a weird way to phrase that. It's the east of Durkin's battery. The east of Stalwart is Rusted Wood. That's clearly where the fort is. Huh. Well, my existing side quest about the lady that's inspecting everything told me to go to Durkin's battery. So why not? Let's see what Durkin Battery is like now. I'm still not sure what to spend my Durkin Steel on. It's just so rare, so you only get to enchant a couple of items. I thought it'd be more certain by now. Ah! Is that Nesta? It is Nesta. Oh, that's who I'm here to meet. Hi. You guys seem distressed. Oh wow, there's a lot coming in actually. This'll be fun. Okay, let's get out of the AoE now. That was a close one. Nesta quivers with exhaustion. I'm usually much more adept at avoiding brigand ambushes. Why were they after you? I'm occasionally mistaken for a tax collector. It's possible those brigands made that assumption. That was a close... Oh. Let's go. I'll see you at the White Forge then. So she gets attacked on the street because they thought that she'd be worth money. But she's actually just an inspector. So not so much. A lot of dead people. And yep.
Yeah.
Well, that was an eventful series of casts I did. Alright. So by now I thought I might be more concrete about what to upgrade. But I'm not really. In part I thought maybe Yaskier would have some unique item that I wanted to commit to for good. But now I've switched to a weapon that is soulbound. And you can't enchant soulbound items. So a lot of the go-to slots I'd want to enchant are the ones that I don't want to. I don't know, maybe I'll pick out which characters I specifically want to take with me for the final fight, and enchant something on them. Or just pick something on Yaskier, perhaps, because he's the hero. And you never know, some of these games might trap you in a situation where you have to solo as your main character. Alright, things are more civil around here now. Bunch of people working on stuff, not a bunch of monsters. The front door is open. I guess I did that myself, though. Curious what it'll be like inside.
You want me to go back up there? After nearly losing my leg?
You still got it, don't ya?
I guess she's right. I guess. The back of the Orland's head is patchwork of singed green-brown fur and dark, scar-rippled flesh. She notices you and jumps back a foot. One of her staring eyes is gold, the other is hazel. She flicks her left ear, which is little more than a nub on her skull. At last, she relaxes.
I think we found Horavius' mom.
Ha! Took you for one of them red Sarens. Then I saw you had all your teeth. Ha ha ha!
She's shouting at you, but a friendly smile warms her face. She smells of sulfur and smoke. I'm Yaskier.
Hang on, gotta talk into my good ear.
She yells even louder, swiveling a hairless but whole ear toward you.
Now what was... Say, ain't I seen you somewhere?
She scratches a bald patch on her cheek. I reignited the White Forge.
That's it! Felt those aftershocks all the way in Stalwart!
She closes her eyes rapturously.
Must have been a real sight up close. All that fire. Oh.
She takes a deep breath. So what are you doing here?
Oh, you know, clearing tunnels, blowing old barricades, just tidying up.
She grins, showing all of her teeth.
But soon, I've got to start testing the cannons.
Her voice has dropped to a whisper, or at least her closest approximation of one. She clasps her hands together and looks up at the high tower with nearly religious reverence. Is this about the Iron Flail?
We held them off a few weeks ago, but they didn't run far. Set up a fort in the woods, and I hear they're working on some really fantastic siege weapons.
Her eyes glow. There must be something you can do.
There sure is.
She's practically dancing, her hands balled into knobby little fists.
Once we have the heavy cannons, that is.
She looks up once more. I've heard they could hit a target over 5 miles away.
Oh, I'd give my other ear to see that.
Her expression melts into bliss. If they even can fire that far, it better not be something that's moving at all. What's the problem with the heavy cannons?
They're all the way up there.
She points up at a tower that punches through the snow-bleared clouds.
I sent a crew to the tower, but they came back complaining about Skuldrak and the other nasties. Nearly took Colmar's leg off. Skuldrak did, I mean.
He blinks quickly. I could look into that.
That'd be a big help. I'd hate to let those beauties go to rust up there.
He twitches and fidgets like a drunk envisioning a tipple.
And anything you find up there is yours. Battery's full of treasures, and the West Tower has hardly been explored. Head through the door and up the stairs. That'll get you to that rampart.
She points up at the snow-dusted walkway.
Yeah, Coolmar cleared the rubble before he took to getting himself conveniently injured. You should be able to work your way up to the cannons from there. Meantime, I'll check on our black powder stock.
She gives you a smile full of jagged teeth. Well, she's excitable, and has been around a lot of explosions and cannon fire perhaps because she's heavily scarred and also has lost her hearing. And just fucking up the cosmetic ear doesn't actively destroy your hearing necessarily, as shown by Horavius. It's more that the inside of her ear is damaged by the cannon fire, like shockwaves. Well met, stranger. He scratches his head. Wait, I know you. You're the one that cracked this jelly jar in the first place. He laughs and claps you on the back. In that case, well met indeed, and thanks for the job. He leans forward to shake your hand. As he does, you notice that he's favoring his right leg, and his left hand is roughly bandaged. I shouldn't take too long, or I'll get an earful. He glances over his shoulder. What happened to you? Bad hip that got worse after a night with Colmar's rotgut. He laughs, but he's wincing too. It'll heal. Just gotta fix this place up before anything else falls apart. Farewell. He's not even the one that specifically talked about taking leg damage. He's another character. So leg problems are just kind of getting around these days. Ah, you can skip straight to the White Forge. Let's go to the Great Hall for now, though. So I'm here to check out upstairs, which, if I remember correctly, I come in here and I turn left, and there's a spiral staircase that leads up. It's seared into my memory because I left it hanging for a while there as something that I meant to get to, because I kind of went right past it. Oh. Fog of War. I guess I have to rediscover this place. The statue of Abaddon is modeled and tarnished, but each bolt and rivet appears crafted in meticulous detail. Everything started shaking. Thought the ceiling would collapse on me. Unnatural, these tremors. We shouldn't have disturbed this place. It's a tomb. Maybe. If you think that, though, I guess you should leave. Because here you are working here. I don't think you're vassals or slaves. So it seems like you're willingly working here. Maybe go back to the fishery. Hey, I probably didn't... Yeah. I think I probably saw that before, but I probably didn't loot it because there's a few instances around here, I think, where I just had full... I was just full up on camping supplies. That's a sound. Sounds like spiders? What is that? A skulldrak? What are those guys? I don't remember. What is a skulldrak? Is it just a... Is it just a dragon-y guy, or is it a bat? No, they seem like... They seem like dragon bats. They look like they have bat ears and faces. Hard to see from here. I don't know. They die easily enough. I think they might be...
If you say so. Got it done.
They might be bats. I think I remember them from before. Oh boy. Greater Flame Blight. Okay guys, gotta get out of the doorway. Alright, my emphasis on fire-based abilities is not going to help me right now. Save him! Only temporarily, but it's something. Forge Guardians. Keep the party going. Oh god, yes, gear. There we go. That's something I can work with a little bit. And no, oh, he went away. He went and cast it anyway, even though there was nothing to hit. Quick, Yaskier, break line of sight. They can't get you here. There we go. He'll be fine. In the meantime, I can summon things. I'm helping. There we go. I was gonna say 300 damage taken is not that much. His whole health bar is 300 damage. So a couple fights, he'll probably get that. Rest in the Alpine Dragon's lair after it has been slain. Oh. 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 Maybe I got it from the I probably did. Maybe I got it from the Alpine Dragon's lair. Yeah, that'd be slightly redundant of a requirement, though, if you get it from that location. I feel like I might have gotten it from Cragholt. I don't know. Someone's losing their mind because they watched... Someone's binging this series later on, and they just watched that episode today, and it's super obvious to them. But it's actually pretty hard to remember where loot comes from unless it's really directly, thematically tied to the location in a really easy to track way. Like being Radric's armor, for example, would really be easy to remember. Oh, like, oh, I got that from Radric.
If you say so.
But Rayona is not a character, I don't think. Or at least not one that I'd remember. This is a whole place. Alright. A lever request. This note is written in fine script. The lever for the artillery lift has broken again. I've been telling my men to be careful as possible when using the lift, but it's difficult to keep your balance on the thing. One bad bump nearly sent a handful of them off the edge, and I'd rather they break a lever to keep their balance than fall off. Unfortunately, it was a clean break this time. We'll need this lever as soon as possible. Scrawled across the bottom in thick ink is the additional note. If your men stop taking up so much ammunition at a time, this wouldn't be a problem. This will be the last lever you ever get. Next time, you're just getting a rammer. Oh. Yep. They've got a dangerous lift to deal with. It seems like that person might be right.
Ain't that special?
Hey, you got it. That's the lever. Ah. I take it we need that. Good thing I found it before I found the problem in the first place. The cannons are cold as ice and banded by angular patterns and prayers to Abaddon.
If you say so.
Oop. That's not good.
Yeah.
No one's capable of opening that. Better hope we can find the key.
Reminds me of a
Did the door just make that sound? I think it did. Oh god. That's a Skulldrack. Okay, yeah, it is the bat people. Interesting that young Skulldraks look so much like little worms. Yeah, these are the werewolf, the werebats. They're pretty rad. Alright. Let's shock them all with AoE. Wow, you have to get really fucking close to cast that, and you're stunned. Great. I get really caught off guard by which spells sometimes require you to get so close. Ah, my weapon procced and summoned a bunch of random friends. That's fun. What did you just cast on her? Champion's Boon. Damage reduction. I guess the might and perception will help. The damage reduction will probably not come up as much. Oh god, you pulled the next group. I mean, the first group's done, so I guess we're fine. We have the advantage of the fact that I have this much to give right now. The one upside of chaining fights together is that a chanter has the opportunity to cast higher and higher level chants. But how does she get stunned? That really defeats the whole purpose. Yeah, now all the big bad guys are dead, so the summon's really wasted. You get to help. Yay. And then Aloth killed it anyway. Fear aura hit him, I guess. Yeah, the Drake didn't even get to land an attack. Aw. Bummer.
Right.
Who wants to summon a Drake and then have nothing happen? Always disappointing. Scrolls. The Skuldrak are nesting with scrolls that cast spells. Be a little distressing if they cast one on accident in the middle of their nest, wipe the whole thing out or something. Be bad news for them. What? Oh shit.
That doesn't feel right.
Okay. Disease pudding. Corrode damage in the entire room. I guess that's why it made an airlock noise. How'd this thing work again? 20 defense against poison attacks. I'm curious whether you can take damage from this. You can. Okay. Oh yeah. Let's go ahead and deal with this next episode. This sounds like it's going to be a bit of an ordeal. Okay. The mask does not solve the problem.